Good morning, everyone. It's Lynn Dunn from Scamtastic Designs. Thanks so much for joining me today. So today we are going to continue to play around with some enamel effects. So on Wednesday, I shared a video about the metallic enamel effects. And today we're going to play around with the pearlized enamel effects. So I have a couple of card ideas. They're very simple. I'll be featuring some of the Sentimental Christmas designer series paper. So I'll show you here. This is what the designer series paper looks like. And we're actually going to be using this particular piece out of the pack just to create some really very simple and very beautiful cards. So I'm going to show you how to use this, the Pearlized Enamel Effects, to just kind of step up your cards and really add a lot of depth and dimension without, a lot of fuss. So we'll play around with this today, and this is just like one of the things in the catalog that you can't easily find. So these are the bottles of Enamel Effects. So it comes in a 3-pack, and it took me a while actually to find these in the catalog. So you might have missed them. But this one is white and red and black. So this is what's in the Pearlized Enamel Effects, and that's what we're going to be using today. We're going to be using the white, obviously, with the cards I have. But they also have some metallic enamel effects. And so this comes in gold, silver, and copper. So there's two different kinds, but you can use them basically the same way. So I'll show you just one other way that you can use these enamel effects in your card making. And if you didn't see Wednesday's video, it is, I don't think I linked to it, but I'll get the link for you after this video. So good morning, everyone. Good morning. So let's get started with our projects here for today. So these are the cards that I created, and the enamel effects are actually on these little branches. So I don't know if you can see kind of the depth and dimension from them. So it was a great way to just kind of step up this designer paper. You can see I added quite a few little berries on these branches. But then I also used it, to add little effects on some of the snowflakes and stars and things like that on this paper. So here is the other one. All right, so I'm going to move these out of the way, and I'm going to show you how I cut up this designer paper. And I only have 2 sheets, so I already cut it up, but I will get it on the screen here, hopefully, so that you can see it. So this is kind of how I cut it up. And I still have a full piece left. So these are 12 by 12 inch pieces of pattern paper. All right, and this is how I cut it up so far. I haven't used this last piece yet, but the first way that I cut it up is I just cut a 3-inch strip and then a 4-inch strip. And so this piece is left over. I haven't used this yet. And then I just made some very simple cards. So this piece is 3. Let me see here. Let me just grab my stuff. Okay, so this is 3 by 5 1/4. And this piece I didn't use on the outside anyways. And then this one is 3 by 5. And I'll show you what the card designs look like. And then this piece I just used on the inside. This is a little 1/2 inch wide piece. So this one is 4 by 5 1/2. And then this one I cut down a little bit to 3 1/2 by 5 1/2. So let me show you how I put these together. And I added a little bit of embossed white cardstock when I put together these little layouts. So I'll just put together the layouts for you first, and then we'll add the enamel effects. So this one is 4 by 5 1/2, so it covers the the whole card front except for this little piece. So we're going to add this to the card front. So I thought I would just kind of share how I cut up this piece of paper because it's not like your regular paper where you can just, you know, cut whatever pieces you want. I wanted to make sure that I had this lantern kind of in the center, so that's why I cut it this way. So there's that one. And then we have, and I'm using Pretty Peacock for the card base. Oh, let me just grab this here. So this one is 3.5 by 5.5. And actually, I think I put this one in the middle. Let me look here. Yep. So this one's just going to run right down the center. So I recommend just putting all your card bases together first before you add the enamel effects, because it does take, even though it's quick drying, it does take a little bit of time to dry, especially when we're putting it on in this particular fashion. All right, so we have those two card bases. And what else do we got here? This one should be 3 by 5. So this is my 3 by 5" piece. And then I think I have a little 3/4 by 5" piece of embossed white cardstock. So that is, I just use the Snowflake Sky 3D embossing folder because it has these snowflakes which coordinate with this paper. So we'll add that there. And then we'll add this piece. So again, they're very simple designs because I really just want to showcase the enamel effects. So there's that one. And then this one should be 3 by 5.25. So that's what this one is. And then I just added a 1 by 5.25" piece over on the side here. So I'm going to add this piece first. And we can overlay it. We'll add that. So it's a really pretty pack of paper. And actually, Stampin' Up! Donates, I believe it's $3. Let me look. They are going to donate $3 for every pack of paper that is purchased. They're going to donate that to the Children's Literacy Program. So you can learn more about that in the catalog. They do give you some details on that. All right, so these are the 4 different layouts that I have. Let's see if I can get them all up here for you. And I still have, like I said, I still have this big piece left yet that I have to cut down and create some additional cards with. And I will put these out on my blog so that you guys will be able to see the template and kind of how I cut each of these pieces. But basically what we're going to do is we're going to take, let's start with this one. We're going to take this Pearlized Enamel Effects, and we're going to use the white, and we're just going to add some little berries to the branches, basically. So what you want to do, I'm going to grab a little scrap piece of paper. So it has a little applicator here, a little applicator tip, but you want to get this down. You want to get your Pearlized Effects to come down. And I've been using this so much, maybe I have it clogged. Oh, there we go. So basically we're just going to be making little dots like that on our paper. So I recommend just taking a scrap piece of paper like I have here and just kind of practicing. And you want to keep your, you want to keep this down so that the enamel effects kind of stays down towards the tip. And then you just want, if it feels like it's not coming out, you just want to add a little bit. Oh, it's not going to come out now. There we go. There we go. So you want to kind of take it slow. And it's going to leave like you're going to get like a little tail on it. But if you pull straight up, it'll leave, it'll leave a nice little dot. And basically this is all you do. You just kind of go along and add those little effects. Let me just put this cap on. Whenever you're not using this, just put the cap back on so that it doesn't, you know, you don't get a lot of dried, crusty enamel effects. But you can kind of see already the little dots that are on there. And like I said, it takes a little bit of practice just to get it to come out, because sometimes when I try to go too fast, it'll come out in a big string, and I don't want it to come out in a big string. I just want it to come out in a dot. There we go. All right, so you get the idea. I'm not going to take you through all of these, but I will just kind of show you a couple more here. Okay. And so you can add as many or as few as you want to the designer paper. So I just thought it was kind of a fun way to step up this designer paper and just make a really beautiful card. So I'll show you how I did it on these. Maybe you can see that too a little bit better. So for these, and notice how I always just kind of practice a little bit. I think I had too much coffee this morning already. My hand's a little shaky. There you go. So I just kind of put a little dot right in the center. I have seen people that put this on, like, I think it's acetate, to create like little embellishments, but I don't have that kind of patience. I can put it on the card, but I'm not going to create a bunch of embellishments separately. All right, so that gives you an idea of how that works. Let me just push this to the side here. I'm going to move these out of the way. So I'm going to bring the cards in and just kind of show you um, what I did with each one. And I'm also going to show you how I created this little bow here. So I just kind of went along and added all these little pearlized enamel effects on there. And then I just created a very simple greeting and added this ribbon behind the greeting. So for the greeting, I decided to use some of the greetings here in the Peaceful Season bundle. And so this label here comes from this particular bundle. There's a bunch of different labels that you can use and things for your card making. So that's what I use to decorate these cards. So I have this one. This one took me a little bit of time just to add all these little pearls all over these branches. But it just gives it a really beautiful look. And you know, it doesn't really take that long to add all of these, but here you can see I added those. I added some up in the branches, just created a little greeting. So put that up there. And then here I just added a few down on these branches and just a couple up here. So like I said, you can add as many or as few as you want. I want to make sure I cover this. And then for the ribbon, basically I was using, this is the silver and white ribbon. And I'll show you what I did. I just cut a piece of ribbon and I just kind of eyeballed it. So I just cut a piece where I could, go like this and make a little bow, tuck this under and make a bow. But I actually cut this ribbon in half. So I just kind of went along and cut right down the center. And there's quite a few different ribbons that you can do this with. It seems to work well with like this mesh kind of ribbon where you can cut it in half because your cut marks aren't that noticeable when you do that. If you use a more solid ribbon, then your cut marks will be noticeable. But this seems to work pretty well. So I didn't want a huge bow, which is why I'm cutting this in half. Okay. So I cut it in half so that I had some smaller pieces to work with. And then basically you create your bow the same way that you normally would. You just got to hang on to the two pieces. And pull this through here. And then you just pull it through and just kind of straighten it out. So this one needs some straightening here. And you can kind of fluff it any way you want to. Just going to move that out. And then you can separate these little strands, to give yourself a little bit more fluff like I have here. But that's basically the idea. You just cut the ribbon in half, and then you have a fun little bow that you can use to decorate the cards. I'm going to grab one that doesn't have the enamel effects on it. And then I just basically added this with a glue dot. I just put a little glue dot right underneath that knot and added that to the card. And then, which one did I use for this? And I just added my greeting kind of right next to it. And I did some heat embossing with the greeting. So that's really it. You just create a kind of a little fancy bow and you can trim these edges down and things like that, the edges of your ribbon. You stick it on with a glue dot, and then you just add your little greeting right next to it, and it just creates a really beautiful card, along with the enamel effects. I think these cards are just really beautiful and very simple to do. And then I just wanted to show you some other cards that I created. I was kind of playing around with some of the different papers in this Sentimental Christmas DSP pack. So I'm not necessarily into a brown background with my with my snowflakes, but it does kind of look cool. And you can see I added the enamel effects to the different parts of the snowflake because I just thought that was kind of a neat way to dress up these snowflakes. And then I added this little bow, little greeting, but I also added the enamel effects down on the corner here. So I have some stencils, some older stencils. I don't know if you guys have some stencils, but you can actually lay your stencils right across, your card base or whatever you're using, your cardstock. And you can use a palette knife. So this is what I used, is this little palette knife. And I just smoothed the enamel effects over this stencil here and added just a little touch on the bottom there. So that's just kind of a fun way that you can use, these enamel effects. And if you saw my Wednesday video, I also showed you that you could use it with embossing. So let me just move these up here a little bit. So I embossed this tree, and then I took that palette knife and I just ran some metallic enamel effects across this design. So I have some gold here that I ran across that design. And then this one, I did a little ink blending on the trees. So this is Lost Lagoon. So I used Lost Lagoon and kind of added some ink to the trees. And then I ran that palette knife across with that gold enamel effects, or gold metallic. Metallic enamel. I wish they would make smaller like names for these products. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, so those are just some fun ways that you can use these different enamel effects in your card making. You know, you can use them as little embellishments like I did here with these branches. You can just take a palette knife, run it across your embossing, and you can also use it with stencils, as I did down here with this particular card. You can use it with stencils. So there's lots of different ways that you can use this product in your card making to just create some really stunning cards. So, all right, you guys. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. So I hope you enjoyed these card ideas, and I hope you're able to find these products in the catalog. Like I said, they're probably the most hidden products in the catalog. I don't think too many people know about them. So definitely go check them out. The bottles are, what's in here? 10 ounces? Is that what it says? I don't have my glasses on. No, that's not 10 ounces, is it? Anyways, I don't know what they are. But so there's lots of fun things you can do. And these little bottles are going to last quite a while because there's quite a bit of stuff in here. So, you know, the red ones, you can make red holly berries, you can make white berries, you can make embellishments. So, so many fun things that you can do with these particular products. So, definitely check them out. And I will provide the link for you guys to my Wednesday videos so you can see how to make these cards and how simple it is to just use that palette knife to add just a little bit of bling to your embossed images. So, all right. So I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the day and a great weekend. And I will see you guys next week. So take care, everybody.